Something, guys. Something. So we're back. Let me just check this. Yeah. So I don't just literally just open Instagram and this is what I see. Oh, you can't see it. Anyways, we'll get into it. So it's Stagnant FC. That's what we are. Let me get some more light in here. Stagnant FC, we know what we are. And yeah, I've got 2 more intros to play, so I'll get into that and then we'll get into the stream.
And until we get Mikel Arteta out of this club, we're continuously going to be a swinging pendulum. And until we get the owners out of this club, we're never going to get the investment needed to win a Champions League or a league title.
Hey, man. Look at this. Somebody come look at this.
I heard this from a friend of a friend's friend. This is a good friend of mine. He called me last night and said this happened. He bumped into Andrea Berta in central London yesterday. And he walked up to him and was like, "Are you Andrea Berta, new Arsenal sporting director?" He was like, "Yeah, I am." Andrea Berta shows him his lock screen. He's got an Arsenal badge on his lock screen. He's like, "Yeah, this is a picture of my friend Sean Andrea Berta in central London last night, right?"
Big up.
So I called him. I was like, "Mate, you met Andrea Berta?" He was like, you never guess what he said." I was like, "What did he say?" He was like, so I said to him, like,
Stop the cap.
"You know, what's going on? Who we signing?" Andrea Berta said to him, "Who do you want?" And he said, "Look, a lot of the talk this week has been around Sesko. Like, what's going on with that?" And he kind of shook his head and he was a bit like, And he says, and Sean said to Andrea Berta, "Personally, I want Gyökeres." Andrea Berta goes like this for a fist bump and he goes, "You got him." Fist bumps him and then walks off.
Who the fuck is this asshole? Stop the cap.
So look, I don't know what that means. I don't know if he's just being a nice guy, if he's, just being like, yeah, like whatever, you're just a fan. But look, that's a bit of a match.
Shut the fuck. Shut. No. Oh shit. Say it again. Say something else. Oh. Say something else. Say something else, nigga.
Turns out that Gyökeres looks like he might be going to Manchester United. Yeah, where's Zumbamendi, mate? Apparently, all that needs doing is the medical. I read something about should be getting done next month. Late shit, gonna. I was a bit late. I ain't gonna lie. But big up to you anyway. Pray for momentum. This pendulum has come to a dead stop 2 years ago. Now, Stagnant FC is what we are. That's what we know we are. Yeah. We are doing the same thing that we always do in the transfer window. And so far, Berta doesn't look like he's doing anything. Like there's no effect. Like this, it's literally just, it's like adding water to a floor of lava. Yeah. So I'm seeing that Man United are on the brink of getting Bremo from Brentford, sorry, and they've already got Cunha from Wolves. Yeah. Despite they finished 15th in the table, just lost a European final to Spurs of all teams. Yeah. United fans will say that's because we've got the pull because it's Man United. No, you've got the money that you'll throw at them. You know what I mean? You'll pay these players what they want. And I'm not saying that as a dig, because end of the day, Manchester United are way more ambitious than what Arsenal are. How can a team just finish 15th, yeah, get these players before us? I'll tell you how, because the club is willing to pay the money to the players that they want so that they can try and get over the line in achieving what they're achieving. There's a reason why Man United have been to 5 finals since the last time we've been to one. There's a reason why they've won, 2 trophies out of the last 5. There's a reason for that. There's a reason why United are still up there in terms of we're a club that's winning something. It's because of this. They'll do what's necessary. We've seen this for 2 decades now. You know, since we last won the league, you know, we've been wanting certain signings, we've been wanting this, that, and the other, and we're seeing clubs around us spend, and they're getting the shit in early. Yeah. Liverpool trying to get business done early. Man City trying to get business done early. Man United trying to get business done early. Clubs that have won something more recently than us. Clubs that have won a league title more recently than us. Clubs that have won European trophies more recently than us. This is going to be the end of Super Text, guys. In fact, I forgot to get my shot glasses. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the Delusion intro again. This can be my little break while I go and get my shot glass and the immunity shots, and I'll have one on the house. So be right back.
Look at this. Somebody come look at this.
I heard this from a friend of a friend's friend. This is a good friend of mine. He called me last night and said this happened. He bumped into Andrea Berta in central London yesterday. And he walked up to him and was like, "Are you Andrea Berta, new Arsenal sporting director?" He was like, "Yeah, I am." Andrea Berta shows him his lock screen. He's got an Arsenal badge on his lock screen. He's like, "Yeah, this is a picture of my friend Sean Andrea Berta in central London last night, right?"
Big up.
So I called him. I was like, "Mate, you met Andrea Berta?" He was like, "You never guess what he said." I was like, "What did he say?" He was like, so I said to him, like,
Stop the cap.
"You know, what's going on? Who are we signing?" Andrea Berta said to him, "Who do you want?" And he said, "Look, a lot of the talk this week has been around Sesko. Like, what's going on with that?" And he kind of shook his head and he was a bit like, And he says, and Sean said to Andrea Berta, "Personally, I want Gyökeres." Andrea Berta goes like this for a fist bump and he goes, "You got him." Fist bumps him and then walks off.
Who the fuck is this asshole?
Stop the cap.
So look, I don't know what that means. I don't know if he's just being a nice guy, if he's, just being like, yeah, like whatever, you're just a fan. But look, that's a bit of a match.
Shut the fuck up.
Well, we're getting him. Anyways, shot of turmeric. Cheers, guys, I suppose. So, the clubs mentioned, yeah, we'll all do something, more likely to do something next season than what we are. And we're sticking with Kai Havertz as our main number 9. So you can kiss goodbye to this whole, we'll be looking to get Gyökeres, mate. No. No way Jose Enrique was Gyökeres ever coming to this football club. You lot might have watched FC 25 on my career mode too much, fam. Gyökeres is only going to be there on my FIFA. I mean, it's never going to happen in real life. So this is what we're going to have to suffer, guys. We're going to have to suffer that Kai Havertz is going to be our main number 9. You know, the same Kai Havertz that missed sitter after sitter against Manchester United at home in the FA Cup. The competition I backed us to win before last season started. That one. And then we go from that to him getting injured, and then we're talking about how not having him was so detrimental. That's where we are, guys. That is where we are. And we're going to see it all again. We're going to see it all unfold. Gyökeres will go Man United, so that will be Cunha, Gyökeres, and Bremo that they would have signed in the window. Yeah. Have you noticed how it's the attack that they went for? Who's our first signing going to be? Apparently, it's going to be Zumbamende. Is he a striker? No, he's not. I told my followers, I told my subscribers, the first signing in this window will not be a striker. That should tell you everything you need to know. Right there. That should tell you everything you need to know. The first signing is not going to be a striker. That means it's not a priority to these men, because these men feel that, we've got Havertz as our number 9. I'm telling you, this manager wants to win his way. so that he can look at it and say, I turned that guy into a 9 and I made him be the number 9 I wanted him to be. I would not be surprised if we don't even get Sesko, and instead we go for Rodrigo from Real Madrid as our priority in attack. Do not be surprised if we sign a winger instead of a striker. Don't be surprised. Do not be surprised. Because we're at that point now where it needs to be both a winger and a striker. It needs to be both at this point. No bullshit now. He's shown us, not even with this, he can get over the line. He's shown us that. He's shown us that how he's running these players into the ground. He's shown us that. Next season, and I hate to have to say it, next season, somebody else is going to pick up an injury because of the workload they did. The season just gone. Somebody else, it's going to be someone else next. That's how the goalpost is going to get moved. This is where we are, guys. And people are still defending Super Tex. They're still defending this guy. I don't know how. I don't know how. And they just want to shift it on the owners. Just pure owners. Because the owners told him, nah, you're not getting a striker. You get everything around that, but you're not getting that. Stagnant and stale as old. Blue Balls FC under the bed sheet in the closet in a hotel. See, LFC have linked 3 chicks and bust 3 nuts, lapping our asses as title contenders, top 4 rivals. Here we go. And us now watching United, Brighton, and Brentford making moves. Yep. Tanya, the more teams, it wouldn't surprise me. Like I said before, yeah, Moreno is better than Havertz. No one missed that streak of piss, apart from the cult leader. True. What I want to say, I already said previous, like obviously under Wenger from 2006 to 2013 was the years that, you know, we didn't win anything. Yeah. Went the 9-year trophy draw. Yeah. This manager will lapse that. I reckon he'll lapse it. I reckon 2032 might be the if he's staying. Let's just say he stays that long. Well, let's put it this way: however long he stays, we're not seeing another trophy. Let's put it that way. We're not seeing it. We ain't seen it. We're not seeing it. I'm telling you right now, we're not seeing it. That's where we are now. And it wouldn't surprise me that the majority of the clubs around us in the Premier League would have all won something since the last time we did. I'm talking Brighton winning a trophy, Bournemouth, you know, clubs like that, Wolves. Because what happened last season, I'm not saying that's going to happen next season, but there's going to be more clubs that are just going to come out of nowhere and win something. Because we're making the same mistake we made under Wenger, keeping the manager for too long. It's clear as day, sacking works. Yeah? Sacking works. If a manager doesn't win, I'm going to sack you and get another one in. That's worked for Man United. It's worked for Man City. You know, Man City have got Pep now who keeps winning, so that's a bit different now. It's worked for Chelsea. It's even worked for Spurs. Imagine if they kept, you know, certain managers for too long. If they kept Poch, I think they would have won anything by now if they kept Poch, no? You know what I mean? We missed out on Pep because we kept Wenger too long. We missed out on Klopp because we kept Wenger for too long. So there's man out there now we're missing out on because we're keeping Super Tex for too long. Same old Arsenal I've been seeing. I wasn't in transfer windows for the past 20 years. Just can't be asked anymore. I'm telling you, watch the women's teams. Keep up with the women's Arsenal. You might as well. Because at least you're not abandoning Arsenal. Keep up with the Arsenal that have 2 stars above their crest. Not the one that has none. Will the cult leader recycle Wenger bars? No quality in the market. Congo like a new signing. It will do. They will do. Sorry. Yeah, they will. Once it's all done. Oh, well, Jokeris went United, mate. Watch. Sacking worked for Arsenal. Paintings. We're seeing clubs around us sack the manager because they couldn't win a European trophy, and then that club's won a European trophy now. Who else is doing what we're doing that doesn't have a European trophy? Who else is doing it? You know what I mean? We're the last team to win the league and still be relevant that hasn't won a European trophy. And what I mean by that is, for example, Leicester City won the league in 2016. They're not relevant anymore. You know what I mean? They're not relevant anymore. That's it for them. Man, I'm relegated twice since. They're not relevant anymore. Not relevant in Europe. They're not relevant anymore. We're the only club that's won a league title, right? That's still relevant, that hasn't won a European trophy. When Chelsea last won the league title, they're relevant in Europe. Man United, Liverpool, City. You know what I mean? We're relevant in terms of in Europe and in the Premier League, but we haven't won a European trophy. So since we last won the league, we haven't won a European trophy. Since Man United last won the league, they won a European trophy. They've won a European trophy since. That's why, G, but they'll tell you how long it took Fergie, even though he was already proven at Aberdeen. That's the point they're missing. You know what I mean? They looked at his first 6 seasons and were like, oh, well, you see, it takes time. And they're forgetting that man was already about that life before he came. Saying that Fergie wouldn't have survived at United if what he went through in the 80s is happening today. Yeah, no, he won't get the time. Like, for example, Amorim now, he might get the best out of Man United if he's given the time. I don't think he'll get given the time. But for United's sake, their best prayer that the likes of Mbeumo and Cunha and Jokeris, if they get him, just start performing in all cylinders, because I guarantee you, if BTEC Haaland, Rasmus Højlund, if he goes to another club, I guarantee you will see why United signed him in the first place. I guarantee you. He'll probably look more like Haaland at another club. Look at McTominay. You know what I mean? That's what happens when you leave Man United. But when you're there, depending on the player, you know what I mean? You got players that just they'll give you some good two-bit good moments as a United fan, but they're not giving you that all the time. Mason Mount, you gave him two-bit good moment in the Europa League run. Ultimately, when it mattered, he didn't do anything. You know what I mean? And Mbeumo getting what would he be getting? Like over 200k a week, fam. I mean, what's the likeliness? I'm not saying he's not going to perform, but at the same time, it wouldn't surprise me if, you know, he doesn't play any better than what we've seen at Brentford. Same with Cunha, because they'll be getting hefty wages now. You know what I mean? And when wages is the main reason a player's going to a club, you tend to not get the best out of that player. You see what I'm saying? By Arsenal paintings, I mean the gorgeous, beautiful women, 2-time European champions. Yeah, we're gonna be. I'm gonna be keeping up with them anyway. I'll be keeping up with all their games now. I'll follow that. I'll follow them. You know what I mean? That's what it's gonna be. With the men's team, obviously I'm still gonna watch the games and all that, but it's just biding the time that until this manager gets removed. McCallum took the cutie Sleggers. Was only assistant and youth team manager previously. Exactly. Now we'll see how she follows that on. We'll see how she responds to what she's just done for the women's. You know what I mean? We'll see what she'll do going forward. We'll see if she's gonna bin a girl like Russo, if I pronounce the name right, the striker. You know what I mean? If she's gonna play her as a left wing back. You see what I'm saying? Spurs have more standing than Arsenal and United. Yeah, they got rid of Ange, didn't they? But it's not. I don't think anything's concrete yet. They said it took Klopp 5 years for getting his work at Dortmund, and now it's passing well over 5 years. They can't use that anymore. Yeah. It's furthermore, Klopp won Champions League and other cups if he wasn't winning the league. And this is what I was saying. When Liverpool finished second to Man City, they came away with a trophy or two. That's why they don't know what it's like to be in this position. You know what I mean? They can't compare that 97 points to what we're doing because they won the Champions League the season they got 97 points. You know what I mean? And when they lost the league by a point in 2022, they already won the EFL Cup and FA Cup. And they headed into a Champions League final after that, which you know, at the time it's like, well, we could win it, type of thing. Proof that sacking culture works. Look no further than 2-time European champions, the Arsenal women. Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm gonna have to make the women's one my main and have the men's as the side at this point. They ain't that because they're not. If the fans had it in them, they go to the women's games and boycott the men's games at a bare minimum. But if they want the owners out, you have to just stop completely. You know what I mean? Because this is beyond a joke. All this is beyond a joke. It's literally beyond a joke. I'm gonna watch United get Gyökeres, you know. Arsenal make Rodrigo number 1 target for winger position. So I'm gonna keep seeing this. Brentford reject Man United's bid for Brian and Bremo. Way. Sky Sports understands Man United's opening offer for Bremo worth total 55 million has been rejected by Brentford. Jesus. Just so you don't think I'm lying, guys. Just so you don't think I'm lying. Way. Did certain man have his shades on when it came to talking about that? Yeah, I just read from AFTV's thingy. Arsenal reportedly in talks with Genk over this player. Again, not a striker. Not a striker. The safe position would be Gyökeres, but there's no guarantee someone experienced and knocking in goals, top level maker. I'm getting bored of this already. Should we sign Sesko or Gyökeres? Breaking news, Arsenal interested in signing Kepa. The thing is, Kepa is actually all right. He's a decent backup to David Raya, if that's true. Arsenal's main revenue is now your side team, legendary. They can be the side team now, the men's. Would you go on Arsenal left wing shortlist with Nico Williams, Morgan Rogers, and Leroy Sané? Just fed up with the fans gaslighting, talking about, but look what he took us from, mate. Regarding, I'll say his name because I've got a little bit left, regarding Arteta. So because we aren't getting slapped 5-0 anymore, it makes this second with nothing shit. That's the thing. That's what these lot are looking at. We're not getting slapped up by the top 6. when you look at the fans, right? That's the next flavor, hot mango. That's the next one coming up. When you look at the fans, what are they all saying? Oh, but mate, we have lost against the top 6 side in ages. I mean, that's what these men are doing. Big up to you, Kurt. United get your Chris. A lot of YouTubers chatting fat. Tottenham winning is a W for me. United, no, Champions League means we get a Glock 9. Tottenham win. United win. It's a W for me. Well, me, I said that if Spurs was to win that Europa League, it might be the silver lining to getting this manager out the door. So that's doing this transfer window. We're stagnant, fam. Stagnant FC. City already got 3 signings. That's because y'all want to win and y'all want to maintain it. And y'all are ambitious. I mean, Arsenal should sign Bofa. Who does Bofa play for? This is a decent 9. This is a real number 9. That's a number 9 for you. You get me? I mean, let's see if Sleggers is going to play a wing back. You know what I mean? We're looking at locking down our Chloe Kelly. You get me? We're looking at locking that down, fam. Look at this legendary for. Look at this. You know what I mean? Legend Bergkamp. You know what I mean? With his family, with the Premier League trophy. You know what I mean? We haven't touched that. We haven't touched that in 20 years, fam. You know what I mean? It's a shambles. Absolute shambles. Proper defender, this. Proper defender. You know what I mean? That's what I'm talking about. I'd be that's this. Chelsea offered chance to sign Mohamed Kudus. In fact, let me go on Sky Sports' page. Actually, let's have a look on there. Chelsea's curse number 9 history as Dilap takes shirt. Has he actually signed then? I didn't know it was actually finalized. I didn't know it was finalized. 30 million. Well, we'll see what's going to happen. We'll see what's going to happen. Grealish, Bernardo, Gundogan all leaving. To be honest, it's time to bin him. You know what I mean? It's time for you, man, to bin him. Both of these nuts. Jesus. The flop Guna, our clients can hold it too. Talking about Jokeris doesn't suit the system. Portuguese tax. Now, these man would say all sorts, man. Yeah, I can imagine you just getting rid of Stones. I was 7 when Arsenal won that trophy. If United get Gyökeres and Bremo, how do you see them doing next season? They're finishing the top half of the table. I'll go as far as that. Won't meant to look like that, but they'll definitely win the trophy. I said whoever Gyökeres goes to, that club will win a trophy, and I'm sticking by that. And she's appealing on the eye is the 9. Best looking Spaniard for sure is Russo. Spaniard. Where are you getting Spaniard from? Arteta needs Chris Wood. He needs somebody who can score goals comfortably. That's what he needs. Oh, that one's nice. That's nice, that. I might have to say that manager's name a few times. Got nice spice behind it. Liam Delap got the number 9 at Chelsea, and Cole Palmer's now 10. Woden and GW over Delap and Palmer. United could get Martinez on a free. What, Inter Milan's Martinez? Is that the Inter Milan one? That's nice, that. Yeah, that flavor's nice. Nice and spicy. Like ginger spice. All right. Yeah, cause I knew her name was like foreign. But Aston Villa one. Oh, that'll be all right signing for that. To be honest, I can still see him. He still makes mistakes though. There's Martinez. You know what I mean? He still does make mistakes. And, you know, I don't know. I can just see him, I would say not as much as what he did, what Onana did, but, you know, can't go wrong with ginger. You can't, fam. Ginger, orange, and turmeric. Source of vitamin C and D3. It's apple, orange, mango, lemon, ginger, turmeric, root. Fam. Yeah, that's a nice one, man. That spice. That's nice. But yeah, it's Stagnant FC. Let's have a look on X and see what's going on there. Let's see. Right. Oh yeah, I saw this earlier shared on Instagram, but I'll just. Andrea Berta said to be admire Gyökeres, but internally views are torn on whether you can hit the ground running in the Premier League. It's understood that Sesko is favoured of the two, but he's more complex. Supertext is a big Kai Havertz fan and will again use him extensively in the next campaign. So an new signing will be there to knock Havertz out of the team. It makes Sesko at just 22 ideal in terms of potential growth. Now, I want to ask you guys, if you've just been 3 Peat runners-up, 3 Peat silver medalists, yeah? Do you have time to sign any player that's for the future? When you know what you've got now already isn't good enough, and I've shown you that. Don't make sense, does it? It doesn't make sense. I'm going to try and I'll go on YouTube and I'll go on my YouTube and try and view that link.
E50. The link is in the description. Been told there's been 2 people already this week that have sent through their video. If you to scouts, we just before we get into it, Jakob Kivior. Remember, not yesterday, day before, we did a poll. I asked, linked Jakob Kivior. Keep Jakob Kivior. That is resounding. Talking to keep, there was a lot of players not kept yesterday, released by Arsenal. 20 players. We talk about transfers here on the show.
And I'm telling you, more players are gonna leave this club than what's coming in. And we'll be in the same position that we were in last season. 2 better players pick up injuries, then we'll be looking at, we're short on numbers. Watch. Just watch.
The players that we want to see coming into Arsenal. Sometimes we forget about the harsh realities of football. Players where their contracts are up and they're released by a club. Sometimes on occasions, players that have been at the club since they were 5-6 years old, only to be released. I was very surprised to see Nathan Butler-Adeji released. He, was on the bench.
Yeah, notice that, guys. Nathan Butler or Deja, whatever his name is. Notice how we got rid of him. Notice, you see how he's quick to get rid of him. You know what I mean? Had it not been for injuries, he probably would have got rid of Skelly. You know what I mean? This guy is not it. I'm telling you right now. Wanyeri and Skelly are only here in this first team because his hand was forced. He wouldn't have played no youngsters. How many youngsters did he play in 2023 season when we were 8 points clear, top of the league all season? None. Yeah, he weren't interested then. He weren't interested 2024 season. Last season, his hand was forced. You know what I mean? Wanyeri and Skelly would be at other clubs right now if all our players stay fit. They wouldn't have got a sniff. Yeah. Now look at what we're letting go. Watch certain man ball out. Watch. Just watch. That's what will happen.
On quite a few games this season, he's been released by Arsenal. Some of the bigger names released were Jorginho, as we know, he's going to Flamengo. Raheem Sterling released, he's loan finished. He's returning back to Chelsea. And Kieran Tierney, who said, a very heartfelt goodbye to the Arsenal fans, and the board spoke about how the fans and the board stuck by him through the highs and the lows. Kieran Tierney has now left Arsenal Football Club. 20 players moving on. One name that wasn't on that list, and that was very significant, was Thomas Partey. Remember, his contract is also up, but he wasn't put on that list as a release player, confirming what we've been talking about here on the show since the start of the transfer window, that Arsenal are trying to renegotiate his contract, get a new deal done with him. His contract was up, so they have not yet listed him as a player release. Remember, Barcelona said to be one of a couple of clubs interested in signing Thomas Partey. There's also interest from Saudi Arabia, but Arsenal working hard to get a new deal done for Thomas Partey. Develops out, but they're definitely 2 players are Arsenal going to go for. We did the poll the other day. Most of you want Gyökeres. Victor Gyökeres pulled out of the Sweden squad for the upcoming internationals, which sparked loads of rumours flying around yesterday. That is this because there's that imminent move to Arsenal.
It ain't going Arsenal. It's not Arsenal is going, fam. It's not Arsenal is going. He'd be going to Man United, if anything. He's probably just there trying to negotiate now. Oh, well, am I going to be starting every game? Do we have ambition to get back in the Champions League? Blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? We're here twiddling our thumbs. Is it going to be Sesko, Gyökeres? You know what I mean? Yeah, I won't put it past this club, yeah? I won't put it past this club, right, to not put any fight for Gyökeres, so it justifies getting Sesko. So we can say, well, Jokeris went to Man United, mate. So it has to be Sesko. I won't put it past them. You know what I mean? I'm sorry. They're trying to talk about, well, we don't know if Jokeris is going to create in the Premier League. Sesko might not. We've seen players come in the Premier League who have been decent abroad, but the Premier League's just not it for him. We've seen that. You know what I mean? We've seen it bare times.
I've seen him do it.
You know what I mean? We've seen it. They are waiting for somebody to get Jokeris so they can turn around and say, "Want available." You know what I mean? That's what it is. I want you to pick for me. Type shit. I know. I told you this guy's a rookie manager. He doesn't know what he's doing. He is running before he can crawl, and we're paying for that with what's going on right now. So I want people to understand, yeah. When somebody who's wanting to get into the managerial game, yeah, you put them at a big club, this is what you'll go through. Because he didn't go down the ranks first. He didn't go, oh, well, let me go to Stockport or some shit and then try and build them up. Try and get them promoted or some shit. Didn't do that. We're suffering this now. Because the owners want to get him in. We're suffering that. If it plans out like that, YG, this cultist and cult leader will get what they deserve. It's funny how bad Arsenal are. Massive bottle jobs literally let Spurs win a trophy before you. And more's going to happen. More of that's going to happen. At this point, I don't care if Spurs win that Super Cup. At this point, I just don't care. Don't care. I'll do a watch along for it just for the content on the channel. But if they win it, oh well. Oops. This is what you get. So anytime for fans out there, for non-Arsenal fans out there, yeah, if your club thinks about getting somebody in who's never managed before, just because maybe they used to play for your club or whatever it is, or they got some sort of connection to your club, you all in force should be saying no. Go manage the lower teams first. Go manage in the lower leagues. Then come here when you've earned your stripes. Don't come here now. That's what should happen. Ancelotti went Everton the same time Super Tex came here. How ass backwards is that? He won't. I'm giving him till Christmas. We won't be in the title race at Christmas. Watch. And I'll be here for it. While I'm watching the ladies doing what they're doing as well, I'll be here for when we're not in the title race at Christmas. Watching this guy get hounded out. Because you can't escape this. You can't escape this. Spurs winning was is what the catalyst from this manager to apply any pressure from any direction. Like, you've got fans now turning around saying a League Cup won't cut it, nothing else will cut it, no FA Cup will cut it, it has to be the League or the Champions League. See how the stakes have risen? This is what I was saying. But my thing is this, because, you see, people are only just catching up. Yeah? Because I wanted 2 trophies in one season. That's what I wanted. Before the 2022 season, 2023 season, I said on Instagram on my stories, yeah, I'd be happy with 2 trophies: a Europa League and FA Cup, EFL Cup and Europa League, EFL Cup and FA Cup, because I knew I wasn't going to win the league. You know what I mean? And then he had us in the title race, and it was a case of, right, well, you know, if you win, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? You deserve another season, kind of thing. But then he failed. And then it got to a point where it's like, okay, 2023-24 season. Okay, so I want a double that involves the league or the Champions League. You know what I mean? That will have me want you win. Failed again. Okay, so 2024-25 season. Well, for me, like, number one, you definitely have to win the league now. You know what I mean? But I still want the 2 trophies. And then when it got to a point where we're waiting the FA Cup, we're waiting the EFL Cup anymore, well, you better win these last 2 because that's all you've got left. You better win the league and the Champions League, fam. Nope. Didn't win that. So now my stakes is for me to be Arteta in. Let's have another shot, guys. For me to be Arteta in, he's going to have to win the treble. And I'm not really big. I'm not really choosing like that on which treble. If it's going to be the EFL Cup, Champions League, and Premier League, or if it's going to be the FA Cup, Champions League, and Premier League. Win a treble. It could be the Premier League, FA Cup, and EFL Cup. Or it could be the Champions League, Premier League, and EFL Cup. I mean, that's so nice. That's so nice. Yeah, more of that. But everybody else now is raising their stakes. Oh no, you have to. I won't accept anything over the Premier League and Champions League now. Well, that's where we are now, isn't it, guys? They have brought Berta to clean up and notice new scout coming in. Yeah, I think there's some guy coming in, isn't there? This is why I say he's not going to last. Because he won't have us in the title race by Christmas. And these men are going to be like, nah, fam. You know, we let you have this window. You've shown now that you can't do it. Get out. Supertext hasn't got it to get us over the line. He doesn't. I've been saying this. Not ourselves, not winning consecutively is a catalyst of pressure. Desire. It was Tottenham with a manager who was getting sacked regardless of the final outcome 2 years into a process. Anyways.
However, the Sweden manager claimed that is not true. Said that he's picked up a little injury and they don't want to risk him. So that is why he's been left out of the Sweden squad. Also, Alexander Isak out of that squad with an injury as well. But that was the reason why Gyökeres was left out.
They ain't out with no injury. These men just don't want to play. Because they've played enough games this season and I don't blame them. You know what I mean? I don't blame them for pulling out. You know what I mean? These men are playing football all year, barely getting any breaks. You've got Chelsea players that go into the Club World Cup, Real Madrid, PSG. Like, these men have got no life now, apart from football. So, yeah, two bit of knock. I don't blame them for throwing that on. You know what I'm saying?
And on Sesko, Ben Jacobs, no bid yet, according to a lot of the reports yet for Sesko, although Ben Jacobs, the journalist, claimed that Liverpool could enter the race to try and sign Sesko. This is bad news for Arsenal, of course.
Wait, so let's just hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. Right. What? So imagine if Liverpool get Sesko and Man United get Gyökeres. You know what the narrative is going to be now, don't you? Nobody was available, man. And then we're stuck with, well, we'll sign an attacking player that isn't a striker. I'm telling you, these men just want. I'm telling you, the owners don't care what we do. They don't care whether we sign a striker or not. You know what I mean? The point is, the money's there to spend. The owners just like, do what you want to do with it. Buy 11 defenders if you want. Okay, just, you know what I mean? And the manager now, I'm telling you, he ain't going to last. I'm telling you guys. It ain't gonna last.
Facts.
It ain't gonna last. I'm telling you, the end is coming. I'm telling you right now, the end is coming. Since Berta rolled in, I almost said his name. He's nervous, chatting rubbish in his interviews. Never seen him sat next to each other, by the way. I don't think I've ever seen them sat next to each other. Windows just started. Lad, plenty of time. There is plenty of time, but we know what we like in the window. We leave things right to the end. If a club's just finished runners up for the third time on a spin, as soon as that window opens, I expect business to be done. The plans for next this goosebumps that this fraud is talking about. Yeah. You should be getting them because we've got shit over the line now. Now we can get these players gelled in. After the 24 season, gave him one last season. The season gone to better what he did. Taking title race to the last day. He failed and knew mid-season he would do so once again. I became Teta out. Havertz is a problem. Teta loves him. He does. He'll die on that hill. Staying consistent instead of changing fucking goalposts. Hope so. Hussam, LFC, Slovenian, Holland to replace Noodles Nunes. I to be honest, I don't. The only thing I know about Liverpool is the sign Frimpong and the Viets. They're looking to try and get that done. But how do you know what? But how do you know that? Berta is in now, so it could be a different story. We've already got here. We go on Zubimendi, so that's going to happen probably start of July. Talks ongoing for Sesko also. Because I know how I if you're responding to how do I know it's going to be the end of Super Tests, it's because we're not going to get Gyökeres. And if the rumors are true that Liverpool are interested in Sesko, then we're gonna have to try and have the pull. I mean, in all fairness, it's not been hard for teams to sign a player that Liverpool tried to sign, but you never know. Yeah, but I know the pattern of this club. I know how these men work. We're going to leave things right to the end. Like I said, our first signing will not be a striker. I called that long time ago. Our first signing will not be a striker. I know that because of the pattern of this club. Under Super Tests. Berta don't want any part of Scrub Teta. The Southampton game, Josh and Garlic were acting like buffers, harmless buffers. Be up to you, Zabi. When they said he was on holiday, and the miracle was booked on Monday. Tanya, the end is near, yeah. And when this manager has been removed from this club, we're going to be celebrating. That's what we're going to be doing. Big up to Andy. We're going to be celebrating. You know what I mean? We're going to have shots and shots and shots of some immunity drink, fam. I don't mind the first signing not being a striker as long as we get a class left winger, class striker before the season starts. The point for me is the first signing not being a striker, for me, it tells me it's not a priority to these men. It's not a priority. They don't see it as that important. They saw, let me get this over the line first as a priority, despite our shortcomings. I mean, it bothers me that it ain't a striker first. That's what bothers me. We could have signed, if we'd have signed Viets as our first signing, it still bothers me that the first signing wasn't a striker. This club's not telling me that, oh yeah, we're trying to rectify last season. Like you can't be in a title race, nearly win the league, avoid signing a striker, then come back and then not sign a striker first again. You need to make up for that. That's what they need to do. They need to make up for that. You know what I mean? Imagine someone slapped you around the face, yeah, and then they said the messenger online saying, "I'm going to apologize when I see you," and then when they walk into the room, the first thing they do is ignore you and deal with something else before coming to you to acknowledge the sympathy for them hitting you. You'd feel some type of way. You know what I mean? Because they didn't come to you first. That's what this is. You ain't getting a striker first. You're not acknowledging what everybody's been saying. And if we let that slide, we sign Zubimendi and get gassed, everybody forgets about a striker. Then Super Text can be like, oh, well, I can do a little experiment again. You know what I mean? Can't let him get away with that. Can't let him get away with that. Have to catch stream and repeat. Yeah, no worries. No worries, man. In the Southampton game where I'll say his name, where Arteta got himself sent to the stands, Garlic and Josh Ted sat in a row, looking miserable, sin the day after beautiful Queen Sleggers won the first trophy. Havertz his first choice striker next season, and Gabby Jesus will be back. That's what I mean. You know what I mean? This is why it bothers me a striker want the first signing, because sign Zubimendi, for example, if we sign him, fans get gassed, we let time blow over. That's why you can't let them get away with that. I'm telling you. You can't let them get away with that. Because they'll get away with it if you know, I'm gonna lose my head watching Martinelli dribble with no IQ for a whole season again. We might have to watch it. And he is deluded. Who do you think Arsenal will get as a manager when Teta goes? My only fear is they won't sign an elite manager. As much as I want Teta gone, then they'll try and say, careful what you wish for. Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know, but I just want this man gone. This club. Because at the end of the day, when Chelsea got rid of Villas-Boas, yeah, they got Di Matteo in, who won the FA Cup and the Champions League. Yeah. He came in and did that for him straight away. So I'll take anybody that can do that for us, even if they won't last the whole of the next season afterwards. Because end of the day, if somebody can come in mid-season, they can do that. Do you think we won't sign a striker then? Not really, no. I think we'll sign an attacking player. I think Super Tex wants to try and get away with not signing a striker. Sesko is the most likely of strikers as it stands. But I personally think that Super Tex is trying to avoid it. And they think if we sign an attacking player, a winger, that'll make up for it. Because what they'll do is might have that attacking player play as a striker in some games next season. But I think they're trying it. That's why a striker want the first thing they got. You know what I mean? They do. We should get Cesc. We'll talk. At least he plays football. At least he worked his way up. He weren't thrown into a big club straight away like this bloody fraud was. I want Manuel Mancini or Xavi Hernandez as new manager after Teta. Well, my preference is a manager that's at least been to a Champions League final, at least been to one. But you know, well, yeah, I'm not so confident on us getting a striker. No. I reckon if they can avoid it, they'll avoid it. Because a striker not being the first signing in our window, red flag. Red flag. Like I said, imagine somebody owes you money or owes you an apology, right? And when they walk into the room that you're in, They don't acknowledge you first when they should. How much of a priority was owing you money or an apology? How much was that a priority from your point of view to that person? So I ask again, if a striker isn't the first signing, how much of a priority is that to this club, to this manager? Anyways, let's play the rest of this video because I forgot it was still there.
Liverpool looking for a striker. They're looking to move on Darwin Núñez, and they apparently are showing a lot of interest in Sesko as well. So could Liverpool hijack Arsenal's deal to try and get Sesko? There's also a lot of reports flying around as well that, according to some journalists, that Arsenal haven't decided yet on who they're going to sign. I mean, there's been a lot of reports that, it is Sesko, but apparently it's undecided. They've found out all the deals and offers and concrete offers around both Sesko and Gyökeres, and they're yet to decide which one they're going to sign. So let's see how that one pans out. But that's interesting that Liverpool also interested in Benjamin Sesko. Sesko Gyökeres daily is going to continue for a little while. I can see it. Here's a report out today that Arsenal are interested in this player. He goes by the name of Konstantinos Karetas. He's Greek, still only 17 years of age. But the Greek publication AMNA, they claim that Arsenal are in advanced talks to sign the Greek star.
Answer. We don't have time to be signing 17-year-olds that ultimately is A, not going to get much of any games at all, and B, going to get sold within 3 seasons. I don't want to see signings of players that they're not here to play games. The fuck is this shit? We've seen how this guy treats youngsters. Yeah? I don't want to see signings of any young player, at this club when I know they ain't going to see the first team in the next few seasons with this fucking fraud in charge at least. Look how many players are going. Look how many players he never gave a chance to. Watch him ball out. Watch. This is why it's important for fans not to let them get away with this. Yeah? Don't let them get away with this. Because if the fans don't act up, they'll get away with this. Making signings that aren't what we fucking need. Foot needs to be on their necks. Get a fucking striker or 2. You know what I mean? But we know they ain't gonna get 2. Because we know what they'll turn around and say. Right? But get what we need. I don't care about some 17-year-old that's a star that could become a star. We don't have time for become a star sort of thing. We need them now. That so-called Greek star, guaranteed 3 seasons. Watch. 2028. Watch. Summer 2028. Watch. You get sold. Watch. I think we'll end up Ollie Watkins. Don't want him. I'd have took him in January just to see out the season. Yeah. But now it's the summer now, and there's more things out available to get. I want the other things. Don't want him now. Don't want him now. But he's better than not signing a striker. It's better than that. But I'm sorry. I need somebody who knows what deal is when it comes to winning the big things. would you be happy with Sesko? No, but I'd be hoping, obviously, that we'd see why he signed him. But I want somebody, because I'm sorry, if we just came off the back of we won a few trophies here and there, yeah, I'd be open to the likes of Sesko and whatever, yeah. But the fact that we're in this position now, where it's like, well, fam, like second 3 times in a row, you haven't won anything. Like you need to get over the line. Everybody else has just been winning trophies. I don't have time for a striker that may become good. I don't have time for that. I need somebody who has been there, done it. I did this for my club. Gyökeres won a domestic double for Sporting. Yeah, could have been a domestic treble if they won that EFL. Well, let's call it PFL Cup, the Portuguese League Cup. Yeah. That lost to Benfica in January. Could have been a domestic treble for him. Yeah? I need that. Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute, yeah? Was we not told all this time, oh, but when you're in Champions League, mate, you're attracting world-class players? Was that not what was we not told this? And I said it was bullshit. I said it was bullshit. This whole, oh, you need Champions League football to attract these players. No, you fucking don't. This club hasn't even proven that. We're in the Champions League and you got a manager that is like, oh, well, I want this younger player instead that scored less goals so I can, mold him into the player I want him to be, rather than sign somebody that's been there, done that. We need people at the club that move like TLC moved to Diddy all these years ago when they were owed money. What's her name? T-Boys, whatever her name is, from TLC, held him at gunpoint. I know what you're saying. Sesko and Simons 100 million job done. So what are they waiting for? Yorkshire Gunner Tetters sold everyone, I think, from the squad who won the FA Cup in 2020. The only one that's left, well, Saka's still here. Martinelli's still here because they were there when they didn't play the game, but they were there. That's it. I think it's just them two now. Almost every player have won a trophy after they left Arsenal. Yeah. Mm-hmm. We're stuck with this guy.
The report claims that Arsenal are close to an agreement to buy him for around about £38 million, then send him back on loan for another season to develop. Attacking midfield.
You see, you can't trust this club doing that, especially when not super techs here. You know what I mean? Look at Nuno Tavares. He's gone to Lazio permanently now, hasn't he? So we sent him out on loan all this time. Now we've sold him. I think Lokonga, he's only just come back now. Fabio Vieira, I don't think he'll stay. You know what I mean? He wasn't even given the chance to see if he could do something. And I believed in him. Telling you, this young Greek guy is pointless. Don't even come here. It's pointless. Under this manager, pointless. You're not gonna trust me. I've seen this. You know what I mean? Spend money on some 17-year-old you're not going to use. So that's money dictating for this transfer window. So then they can justify, well, we spent some money in January, mate. In summer, mate. You know what I mean? Telling you right now, I know what these men are trying to do. And the fans need to let them get away with it.
Player said to be really, really talented. He can play as a number 10. He can play on both wings. Already has played once for Greece and has been interested in a lot of the big clubs. Liverpool, Manchester United, Newcastle have all been scouting him, all shown a lot of interest. But according to this report from AMNA, they claim that Arsenal are in advanced talks to sign him. It's one right out of the blue, so you can't discount it. As I said, still only 17. Let's see how that one develops out. But, you know, to loan him straight back, that's a big fee to buy someone and loan him straight back. I have to admit, I'm not really familiar with the player.
I can't remember what the fee was. We're on 760. Let me just go back.
From AMNA, they claim that Arsenal are in advanced talks to sign him. It's one right out of the blue, so you can't discount it. As I said, still only 17. We've all been scouting him, all shown a lot of interest. But according to this report from AMNA, they claim that Arsenal are in advanced talks to sign him. It's one right out of the blue, so you can't discount it. As I said, still only 17. Let's see how that one develops.
Where is it? Price on the screen? No.
Out, but you know, to loan him straight back, that's a big fee to buy someone and loan him straight back. He goes by the name as Konstantinos Karetas. He's Greek, still only 17 years of age. But the Greek publication AMNA, they claim that Arsenal are in advanced talks to sign the Greek star. The report claims that Arsenal are close to an agreement to buy him for around about £38 million.
So I want you guys to understand, yeah, that if this is all legit and it's you know, £38 million to loan him back. That's £38 out of whatever we've got to spend in this window. Yeah. We're three-peat second place, and we're willing to spend £38 million on a player that's not going to play for this club next season. That's meant to be a rising star. What's our budget? Is it 200 million? Is our budget 200 million? Because I heard 100 million. So minus 38 from that. Minus 38 million from that. Yeah, 38 million. And then the Zumba Mendy deal, how much is that? I'm telling you, I know what these men are doing. I know what these men are doing.
Arsenal make but for that sort of fee, he must be really, really good. So let's see how that one works out. Mohamed Kudus.
Yeah, and if this £38 million Greek guy that's meant to be really good, imagine we loan him out, we sign him for 38 million and loan him back, and he balls out where he's at. And you look at the player and you think to yourselves, well, we're in need of that right now. You think we're going to call him back? No, we're not. Do you think if that 17-year-old balls out at the club that we sign him from, going back on loan, if he balls out next season, shows absolute baller skills, do you think we're going to call him back and be like, nah, we need you for this season? No, we're not. We're gonna see it out. Because understand what happens in this window. Understand January 2026. We're not bringing anybody in. We'll bring very little in that window. So it's crucial that this window we get it done. That's what's crucial. But this club be in this club. Signings like that do happen. Teta is playing with fire. Surely he goes out and gets the best there is to get now because of no Premier Champions League. He's delivered next season. He's probably gone. You'd think that, wouldn't you? You think that, well, I have to deliver this season. So you think you won't piss around like this. Nope. Telling you. It's going to be the end. It's going to be the end of this guy. We need some free transfers. We could do some free transfers. We could do with some experienced players that have been there, done that, done it all. But Super Tex don't want that. We're stuck with him, guys. We're stuck with him. At least until Christmas. Because he won't have us in the title race. And the pressures are just going to be on. You've got fans turning around saying you have to, it has to be the league or bust. Champions League or bust. Like we're at that level where we're turning around and saying the FA Cup ain't good enough, the EFL Cup ain't good enough. Yeah, you're gonna have to do more than that now. And like I said, an FA Cup won't cut it for me. An EFL Cup won't cut it for me. That's not gonna make me want him to stay. You know what I mean? Not one trophy he can win that's gonna make me want him to stay. He has to win multiple of them at the same time. Or if he does win one and he's staying, you have to keep doing it. You have to keep doing it. If he wins the EFL Cup next season, and then the season after, he wins the FA Cup and the Champions League, and then the season after, he wins the league and then retains it the season after, I'm good with that. But I know this manager ain't levels like that. You've done good to get us where you've got us to, but you can't take us any further. It's best you leave now, let somebody else come in right now. Pick up where you left off, because you clearly can't take us to the next level. Forget Zubi, sign Balaga, and Brighton is class. I'm looking for a move. How long you been Teta out? Well, in all fairness, I was Teta out before he came in, and then I gave him a chance after he won that FA Cup, and then I gave him a chance after the 2021 season, and it was when he failed to get top 4 in the 2022 season, because I knew he'd bottled it again. I knew he wouldn't be able to get this team to get even into the top 4 because he wasn't winning any trophies. It was like, well, nah, leave, because you're not even doing that. You know what I mean? And now he's took us to a higher level in terms of we're competing for the league, and he still can't win. So realistically, most of his time here, I'm not wanting him here. It's just that he crossed the line when he crossed the line in 2023 for me. That's when he crossed the line. But I knew he wasn't going to leave. And then 2024, it was a case of win a double that involves the 2 biggest trophies. That's what it would have took for me to be like, okay. But now I'm at that point. It's gotten so bad. I'm actively tagging him in posts, telling this guy to fuck himself, essentially. That's how bad it's got, and that's not something that I want to do. But it's gotten to that point now where the fans need to be ruthless now. It needs to get to that level now. Because seeing Spurs win a European trophy like that, and then they've got shot out another trophy. Palace win their first trophy. Liverpool win the league title for the first time since 1990 in front of fans. Newcastle win their first trophy in my lifetime. In our lifetime. Because I don't think I've got anybody over 70 in this chat. Sorry, no. Like the line's crossed. There's no going back from this. There's no going back from this. Like I said, there's not one trophy he can win. He can win the league next season. I still want the fucker gone. He can win the Champions League next season. I still want the fucker gone. Yeah. wins a double that involves the league or the Champions League or league and Champions League, leave on a fucking high. You win the treble, you can stay. Anyways, I'm gonna play some more of this actually, and then I'm gonna end the stream.
Kudus of West Ham said to be interested in Arsenal at the moment as well. Could this be a move that Arsenal make? I'm
not interested in players that we potentially could have got before, and now they've been used up some more. Now we can get them. I'm not interested. You know what I mean? Imagine you fancy someone, yeah, and then a few boyfriends later, now you can get her. Now that she's had a few boyfriends, nah, fam, I don't want that now. You know what I mean?
In this summer transfer window. Now, a lot of the reports out there have been that there's been a few Saudi clubs showing a lot of interest in Mohamed Kudus. One of them is rumored to be Al Nassr. Now, and according to TBR Football, Arsenal have reportedly made an offer of around about £50 million, which that's £20 million lower than what the Saudis would pay. But they've reportedly made this offer, and they're waiting in the wings now. But I'm not really seeing much around this apart from this report from TBR Football. We keep an eye on it. Really good player.
Anyways, I'm gonna leave it here. In fact, I'll just quickly show you guys this post on X. Found it amusing. Hope he starts the majority of our games this season so he can finish Super Text off completely. Telling you, Super Text ain't gonna last. That fuck ain't gonna last. Anyways, I'm gonna leave it here anyway. Like the stream, share, comment, subscribe to the channel, follow all the socials. The link is in the description below. And of course, I'll leave it with two outros. Yeah. My delusion intro, I'll also use it as an outro, and then the official outro. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next stream. Peace.
Look at this. Somebody come look at this.
I heard this from a friend of a friend's friend. This is a good friend of mine. He called me last night and said this happened. He bumped into Andrea Berta in central London yesterday. And he walked up to him and was like, "Are you Andrea Berta, new Arsenal sporting director?" He was like, "Yeah, I am." Andrea Berta shows him his lock screen. He's got an Arsenal badge on his lock screen. He's like, "Yeah, this is a picture of my friend Sean Andrea Berta in central London last night, right?"
Big up.
So I called him. I was like, "Mate, you met Andrea Berta?" He was like, "You never guess what he said." I was like, "What did he say?" He was like, so I said to him, like,
Stop the cap.
"You know, what's going on? Who are we signing?" Andrea Berta said to him, "Who do you want?" And he said, "Look, a lot of the talk this week has been around Sesko. Like, what's going on with that?" And he kind of shook his head and he was a bit like, And he says, and Sean said to Andrea Berta, "Personally, I want Gyökeres." Andrea Berta goes like this for a fist bump, and he goes, "You got him." Fist bumps him and then walks off.
Who the fuck is this asshole?
Stop the cap.
So look, I don't know what that means. I don't know if he's just being a nice guy, if he's, just being like, yeah, like whatever, you're just a fan. But look, that's a bit of a match.
Shut the fuck up.
And if anyone wants to have a come at me,
come and find me. I'm in the car park now.
because I'm a black belt in karate.
Stop the cap.
Come and have a pop.
I don't think you have the facilities for that, big man.